Truckers, what spooky things did you witness on the road? I've been hauling freight across the Pacific Northwest for 15 years, and you see all kinds of things on the road at 2 a.m. Most of it's harmless. Drunk college kids, couples arguing at gas stations, the occasional deer that didn't make it across I-5 in one piece. But what I saw that Thursday night outside of Centralia, Washington, still keeps me awake sometimes. Name's Dave Kowalski, and I was running a load of electronics from Seattle down to Portland. Nothing unusual about the route. I'd driven it hundreds of times. The weather was clear, traffic was light, just me and the occasional car sharing the highway with a few other truckers making their midnight runs. Around mile marker 82, I caught up to a dark sedan in the right lane. Honda Accord, maybe 10 years old, Washington plates. Nothing remarkable about it except they were doing about 55 in a 70 zone, which always makes you wonder if someone's had a few too many or if there's car trouble. I moved into the left lane to pass, and that's when my headlights swept across their rear window. There was a man in the driver's seat, maybe mid-30s, wearing a baseball cap. In the passenger seat was a woman with blonde hair turned toward the back, and in the back seat was a girl who couldn't have been more than 16, 17 years old. Dark hair, small frame, wearing what looked like a school sweatshirt. The woman in front was hitting her, hard, closed fist punches to the face, over and over. The girl's head was snapping back with each impact, and she had her hands up trying to protect herself. No defensive struggle, no fighting back, just pure terror and pain. I've got 2 daughters of my own. Seeing that made my blood turn to ice. I laid on the air horn, that deep, thundering blast that can rattle windows a quarter mile away. The car swerved slightly, but the beating continued. The woman never stopped throwing punches. The driver never slowed down or pulled over. I grabbed my CB radio. Breaker 19, this is Big Dave northbound on I-5 at mile marker 83. I've got a situation here. There's a dark Honda Accord, Washington plates, and someone's beating a kid in the back seat. Anyone got ears on this? Static. Then a voice crackled back. Copy that, Big Dave. This is Moondog about 10 miles ahead of you. You want me to call it in? Affirmative. I'm gonna try to stay with them. The Honda started speeding up. 60, then 65, then 70. I kept pace in my Peterbilt, staying close enough that my headlights kept their interior lit up like a stage. The assault was still happening. The woman's arm moving in that rhythmic, brutal motion of someone who wasn't going to stop until they were forced to. I managed to get close enough to read the license plate. WJH4729. Grabbed my cell phone and dialed 911, steering with one hand and trying to keep the Honda in sight. 911, what's your emergency? This is Dave Kowalski. I'm a trucker on I-5 northbound near Centralia. I'm following a Honda Accord, license plate William John Henry 4729, and there's a woman in the front seat beating a teenage girl in the back. Closed fist to the face. This has been going on for at least 5 minutes. The dispatcher took down all the information. My name, CDL number, exact location, description of the vehicle, and occupants. I stayed on the line while she coordinated with state patrol units in the area. The Honda suddenly took the next exit, Chehalis, Route 6 West. I followed them down the off-ramp, but by the time I navigated the big rig around the curves, they'd disappeared into the maze of side streets and residential areas, just vanished into the darkness like they'd never existed. I pulled over at a truck stop and waited for the state patrol. Trooper Lisa Martinez showed up 20 minutes later, took my full statement, got copies of my logbook to verify my timeline. Professional, thorough, treated it seriously. We'll investigate this immediately, Mr. Kowalski. Thank you for calling it in. The next afternoon, my phone rang. Trooper Martinez again. Mr. Kowalski, we located the vehicle and the occupants. We spoke with all parties involved. They informed us that the young woman was having a medical emergency, some kind of seizure, and they were trying to restrain her for her own safety. Everyone's fine, no injuries reported. I sat there holding the phone, not believing what I was hearing. Trooper, what I saw wasn't someone having a medical emergency. That was deliberate, repeated punches to the face. The girl was conscious and trying to defend herself. I understand your concern, sir, but our investigation found no evidence of any assault. The family was cooperative, and the alleged victim showed no signs of trauma. That was it. Case closed. File stamped and forgotten. But I know what I saw in the back seat of that Honda Accord. That wasn't a seizure. That was a girl named Emma Chen, getting beaten by someone who was supposed to protect her. And somehow they convinced the police it never happened. I still drive that stretch of I-5, and every time I pass mile marker 82, I wonder what happened to that girl after the lights went out.